Welcome to Digicam Deathmatch, where we take some of the best Digicams over the past 25 years and pit them against each other to find the best Digicam for us, or potentially even for you. For season 1, we have 16 Digicams chosen at random from our own collection, put into a Sweet 16 style tournament where only one Digicam comes out on top.
For the Digicams to qualify, they had to meet a certain criteria first.
They had to be under $1,000 USD, either new or used. Batteries and memory cards needed to be readily available on platforms like Amazon. And they had to be able to fit into your pocket. Or if you're like me and you don't have very big pockets or any at all, then to fit in a very small bag. We call this pocketable.
This season, we have Digicams from almost every major camera manufacturer, including Canon, Sony, Lumix, Fuji, Nikon, HP, Samsung, and Pentax.
The cameras are pitted head-to-head per round and ranked on the following categories:
Price, image quality, zoom, aperture, pocketability, color and vibe, ease of use, screen, fun factor, and with bonus points given for flash, macro, flip screen, and EVF.
Here for episode 8, we have the Canon G7x Mark III manufactured in 2019 versus the HP PW550 manufactured in 2010.
We're gonna take these two cameras out on a mano-a-mano deathmatch to see which one makes it to the next round.
All photos you're gonna see today on the episode are JPEG straight out of both of these cameras. Now we try to go in the color settings of each camera to kind of give them our own special sauce to make the JPEGs look the best. So if you want those color settings, we'll leave them for you at the end of this video.
And for now, come take a walk with us and judge for yourself. All right, we are back in the studio to find out which one of these cameras lives to fight another day.
Now keep in mind, guys, we only took these cameras out for a couple hours on that photo walk, but we have owned both of these cameras for well over several months, so our rankings are based on that combined experience.
Now for each category 1, the Digicam is awarded 1 point, and in the event of a tie, they both get a point.
And in the price category, we award an additional point for every $200 cheaper a Digicam is from the camera it's competing against.
So on that note, let's start with price. The HP PW550 was purchased for $100 used, where the Canon G7X Mark III was purchased for $850 new. That not only gives 1 point to the HP for being cheaper, but an additional 3 points for being over $600 cheaper.
Next up, we have image quality. For image quality, this is a no-brainer. I mean, just looking at the photos yourselves through the Photowalk, the image quality coming out of the G7X Mark III is far superior to the HP PW550, so the point is going to go to the G7X Mark III.
And next up, we have pocketability. While both Digicams are quite pocketable, the win for this one goes to the HP because it is that much smaller than the Canon.
Next up, we have zoom. The Canon G7X Mark III has a full frame equivalent zoom range of 24 millimeters to 100 millimeters, while the HP PW550 has a full frame equivalent zoom range of 28 millimeters to 140 millimeters. So just in those numbers alone, the HP actually wins in the zoom category, having 40 millimeters more zoom reach than the Canon G7X Mark III.
Next category is aperture. The HP has a variable aperture of 3.3 to 5.9, and the Canon has a variable aperture of 1.8 to 2.8, giving the point to the Canon in this round.
Next up, we have colors and vibe. Now keep in mind, guys, this category is very subjective, but in our opinion, the G7X Mark III just hits a little bit more. Now, I will say that the HP PW550 does have a very vintage analog feel to it. So there are times when those photos come out and they actually look really good. But there are other times when those photos come out and they don't look good. It's very inconsistent in camera, the shots you're getting as far as colors and vibe go. The G7X Mark III, of course, is a newer camera, so that makes a lot of difference, I'm sure. Also, it's just Canon. Canon has their color science, and we also had more settings that we could tweak in camera for those colors to really pop on camera. So with all of those combined together, the G7X Mark III takes the win here.
And the next round is ease of use. All right, for this category, while both cameras were actually pretty easy to use, the HP really struggled with locking down that focus. So we took these to a rodeo. Now, there's a lot of galloping horses, a lot of moving objects. Because the HP took longer, it did eventually get focused, but because it took longer to get that focus, that horse was out of the picture half the time by the time it was ready to lock on. Whereas the Canon was tack sharp every time it hit that horse and stuck with it the whole time. And as you could see from the photos we took, the Canon just had better shots because of it. So the ease of use is going to go to the Canon for this round.
And next up, we have screen. For the Canon G7X Mark III, manufactured in 2019 versus the HP PW550, manufactured in 2010, there is a clear difference between the screen quality of these two cameras, and that's just due to 9 years between them in manufacturing date. So, of course, the Canon is just going to win here. The screen is bigger, it's clearer, it's easier to see all the way around. There were times where we did struggle with the PW550 trying to shoot photos in bright sunlight, so the point goes to the Canon.
Next one is fun factor. For this category, while both cameras were pretty fun to shoot with, the Canon being a newer camera honestly just has more modern technology that you would expect and you can have fun with, like the control ring on the front, as well as subject tracking, continuous autofocus, continuous shooting, which was really helpful when we took these both to a rodeo to shoot. Canon's images were sharp, following horses galloping, whereas the HP were kind of a blurry mess. So the Canon takes the point for this round.
Next up, we're into our bonus rounds, with our first category being flash. Both the HP PW550 and the Canon G7X Mark III have a flash. The HP's is right on front. The Canon's got a little lever right there, and then that flash pops up. So they both get a point for having a flash.
And next up we have macro. Both the cameras have macro mode, so they both get a point.
Next up, we have flip screen. The HP PW550 does not have a flip screen, which we wouldn't anticipate from a camera in 2010. But the G7X does have a flip screen. It is not a huge articulating screen, but it does do a little bit. You can get a little bit low with it. You can also, you know, kind of kick it this way as well to kind of get that tabletop view, so you can kind of have it at waist level if you need that, you know, and for those higher shots, you kind of got it there. It also has the ability to flip around and go into that selfie mode. So it gets a point for having a flip screen.
And the next is the EVF. Neither camera has an EVF, so neither gets a point.
Which brings us to our winner.
So that's our rankings, and we are sticking to them as usual. If you disagree, feel free to deathmatch it out in the comments below. And that brings us to our winner being the Canon G7X Mark III with 9 points over the HP PW550 with 8 points.
So the Canon G7X Mark III moves into our quarterfinal round. And as this is episode 8, we move fully into our quarterfinal round next episode when we go into round 1 of the quarterfinals with the Fujifilm X-Half taking on the Lumix LX5, who both won their respective rounds earlier in the season.
And as always, remember the best camera is the one you have on you. Later.